Hello everyone, welcome back to Farmer Simulator 19. Today we're back on the 3 maps map. We're actually over in the Marksville, Wisconsin area. This was put together by Bronkema Toys. I decided to bring the 2 tractors I grew up with the most, Farmall, and I also have the 2520. I put the actual sounds from my real life 2520 into it. I actually have the 2 versions, one from when Grampa had it, and then after it was changed a little bit between me and my uncle Mark, who I bought it from. So I spent a lot of time during the summer actually raking hay with the Farmall. Matter of fact, there was a farm my grandpa was renting. It was actually about 15 miles away from the main farm. So the routine for quite a while was my grandpa would get up and do chores, and when he was ready he'd actually wake me up. I'd drive the Farmall with the hay wagon, and my grandpa would drive the 2520 John Deere, usually with 1 or 2 wagons behind it. And I'd start out raking while he was cutting hay. And then when he figured he had enough hay cut, then we'd start baling. By the end of the day, before dark, we'd actually start back out for home again. So it was a long day for being that young. We started out doing that when I was probably 12 years old. It's kind of after my uncles had, most of them actually had all moved away. So it was down to me to help Grandpa out. Lived on the same farm, just in different houses. So this is how my grandpa had it when he owned the 2520. He had the cab on there with the tall exhaust stack. This is the actual sounds from the 2520, starting the idling sound. I think I'll do something a little different too. I'm gonna actually include a couple of small clips of the actual tractor running and idling. See how you guys like that. I'll do that later in the video. I'll try to remember to say when I do it. If not, I'll just have to kind of put them in there for you guys. That hay rake, and actually this Haybine, the 1219, was from editing mods for FS19. At the time, actually, my grandpa had a old Ottawa Haybine. I don't know if you guys heard of those. They actually made some other farm equipment. They were actually in Owatonna, Minnesota, not far from where I live now. The family farm, that's down in northeastern Iowa. That's where I mostly grew up. This tractor was always my favorite. Actually, my grandpa's favorite tractor. Even through the years, buying and having different tractors, he always kept this one. I remember riding with him when I was really young. We're at one of the farms he had owned. He actually was pulling a 4-bottom plow with it. It's actually a little much for the tractor, but mainly it would pull it, but once in a while you get into hard ground and the front end would actually come off the ground. Grandpa would have to push in the clutch and hit the brakes quick and try to bring the front end down gently. But every once in a while it would come down kind of hard. No, it was kind of scary the first time I was riding with Grandpa and that happened. But down the road he ended up getting the 4020 John Deere, I think I told you guys about before. So he started pulling a 6-bottom plow with that. And once he did sell it, he got a 3-bottom plow. Started pulling that behind the John Deere. He used to do pretty much everything with this 2520. Actually put duals on it for disking. Run the Haybine, baler. And actually planted with it too. This is more like how the 2520 looks today, which I actually own. Bought it from my uncle Mark, except for the chrome stack. Actually has a shorter muffler with no extension on the top. I think this is a good spot. I'll insert a short video of it sitting there idling, the real 2520. Alright, I think we'll start baling some hay. Hope you enjoyed that clip. We'll bale some hay, and I got a calf pen, got some cows. We can feed them. I have to turn this on to auto load in a little bit. I actually took the air cleaner housing that was sticking out of the hood. Actually, well, I didn't actually remove it. Somebody showed me a trick, John R. I don't know if he's around yet, but he's also on YouTube. He actually told me to try to just make it invisible, and that worked. Before that, I couldn't get it to disappear. I'd like to get the correct weights for the front. Actually found them from another tractor mod. I can actually get them to list in the store, but I couldn't actually get them to appear on the tractor. I think we're going to do the auto load here. Try to. There we go. Get turned around here. My grandpa originally had a John Deere kicker thrower baler. I think he mostly put the 40-20 on that, but then after that he actually got a throw baler. It had the belt system on it, belt thrower. So when we were at that farm he rented, we called the Bowman farm, it was so far away that Grandpa actually had me stacking the bales in the throw baler rack. He said if it was the John Deere kicker, it was too dangerous to be in the wagon. But we got as many bales as we could, because at the end of the day, we'd take the full bale wagons back to the farm. If we had time at night, we'd unload them into the hay barn. There was a lot of times he actually unloaded them himself the next morning. Wish I had a picture to show you guys, but he actually farmed most of his life with one hand. He actually had lost it in a car accident when he was in his early 30s. So even remember when I was real little, he actually milked cows with the cans before had the milk pipe system. But that wasn't good. I think we'll get a little bit of grass in there. Actually, I think this is a good time to put in a little clip of the real 2520. Just me driving it with the high idle sound. Alright, we'll do some grass bales here before we go and feed the calves and the cows. We show you around this barnyard. That's actually new to me, but maybe I just hadn't been in that area before on the Marksville, Wisconsin map. Now looks like we got a stray bale there we'll have to pick up. Maybe even a couple up there. That was while we didn't have it on the auto load. The original version of this 2520, it was actually by R.D. Allen. Changed the sound. Got it so you can't see the air intake on top of the hood. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it didn't have the dual option for the narrow front. So I actually was able to change that in the XML file. I think the bugger picked it up by himself. It was laying over here. Also, the other thing I like to do is this and the 4020 that actually had decals on the front. Obviously, they didn't come from John Deere. I'd like to get them added to the front of the 2520. It's a Husky Brute with what looked like almost like a construction worker. One of the pieces of heavy equipment my dad was actually hauling. My uncle's found some extra decals from the equipment. I believe it was logging equipment. They went and actually put the decals on the front of the 2520 and the 4020. That's how I recognized the 4020 a few years ago. It was actually in a repair shop in the area down there. And it had that exact same sticker on there, so we knew it was my grandpa's old 4020. They'd actually changed it from a wide front to a narrow front, and put a cab on it. It had a big silage blade on the front of it. The loader. Be nice to get a hold of that someday and fix it up if they ever want to sell it. I think we'll drop that there. I even got the shutdown sound of the original 2520 in here. I might stick that in here too. Maybe this is a good spot to do that. Alright, I think we'll grab we'll call this Grampa's 2520. Take our wagon and go feed some calves and cattle. You actually see over there, corn looks different. That's actually silage corn there. Trying to make our way over to the cattle, actually the calf pen. Weave our way through the buildings here. I was kind of in a hurry when I placed this. Let's see how much they take. Hopefully they'll take some of this. There's they're exploding out of there. Oops. Well, they took a little bit, not a whole lot. I tried throwing these bales in there for straw for them. I think I have to get the straw blower, throw them in there, get them to the calves. We can check and see if they actually took some. So we'll have to find a trigger spot another time there. Yeah, I guess we'll kind of drive around and see if we can find a spot where they actually take them. Almost looks like the water trough there. I would think they would take the small bales. I know the cows actually do. Trying not to get any of the straw bales. Got one of our harvester silos over there too. I think it's best to go around this way. I fed them a little bit earlier. They actually took most of them, or actually all of them. Nice thing with the narrow fronts, they turn a lot sharper than the wide fronts. Yeah, actually push on the brake, whichever direction you want to turn. Actually do pretty much a complete 360. We'll just do a little bit more baling here. I'll have to tell you guys more stories of the H and the 2520 when we get a chance. I also made a gas version of the 3010. The actual sounds from the 3010 I had. Actually, I ended up sounding to my uncle. But I think that's going to do it for this time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, the new map, the H Farmall and the 2520 and the new sounds. And all the new equipment. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time.